Okay. Uh, so I'm going to teach you about holding the pick.
Yeah.
Okay. So your right hand must be on the E string first. So you should hold your pick flat on the E string. Just for your reference, just hold it flat so that it rests on the E string. There's no need of inclining it right now. So the problem is if you try to strum the guitar or pick the guitar with your plectrum lying flat on the string, it's going to lack some feel and it's going to lack some flow. So I'll just give you an example of how it might sound. So there's too much sound from the pick to the guitar, and every string is emphasized too loudly, which is something that we don't want.
Yeah.
So what we do is we try to incline the pick a little bit. Now it's absolutely parallel to your string. It's 180 degrees. So what you do is you slightly try and tilt your pick like that. Okay. So once you tilt your pick, which is, I don't know, the other angle should be around 45 degrees. So this is, it's not to be taken too mechanically. It's just about tilting your pick with the help of your index finger
Yeah.
so that you have more flow. So I'll just play an example of the E minor chord with this particular pick position, and this is how it will sound. You still can hear the strings obviously with the pick because you're strumming it, but again there'll always be some flow to whatever you're playing, which gives you more authentic feel, gives you a lot more feel. So that is one way of holding the pick, but depends on how you use the pick and how you hold the pick and what you're comfortable with. Okay. So we'll just move to strumming. Like we'll move to the most basic strumming pattern.
Mm.
Let's take the G major chord, for example.
Yeah.
I am choosing the G major chord because it involves all the strings. Okay, because this is the shape of the G major chord. You're holding the 1 3 5, which is the G, B, and D. Uh, I'm not choosing the C major chord because it involves like just particular strings here and there. You might have to mute some of the strings, and you might have to play from, your starting point will be from some other point. So instead of that, I'm just going to pick the G major chord, or you can also pick the E minor chord, which also involves other strings. It will be easy for you to learn the pattern though. And what we'll do is we'll take a 4 by 4 pattern, which is the time signature, the rhythm beat. So your time is going to be 1 2 3 and 4. So that's your 4 bar, your 1 bar of 4 count. So let's start with the most basic pattern. It's going to be something like this. So I'm going to use all downstrokes. I'm not going to use any of the upstrokes here. So it's going to be like this. That's all. And you can like follow the strum by just like saying to yourself,
Yeah.
1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. This is like the most basic strum pattern you can get. So you can also like try to strum along with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hold the G major chord and let's try to
Yeah.
get this on the pattern. Yeah. Okay. We'll start.
Yeah.
You start and I'll join with you.
Okay.
So when you play, it will be easy for you if you tell yourself the count so that you're playing on the count and you're playing on tempo on that particular speed,
Mm.
because the next pattern will involve a few off here and there, which means the off note is nothing but the note that is in between 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, or
Accent.
4 and 1. Yeah, the accents, correct. So for now, let's play on the count, which is
Okay.
1 2 3 4. Okay. So 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So when you're doing that, don't leave too much of gap, or don't try to vary the gap in between the speed, I mean. So just let's try to go on a constant speed, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So this is the first basic pattern, and this is very necessary because this will lead to other complex or other strumming patterns that involves other offs or other accents or other rhythm patterns.
Yeah.
And there is absolutely no formula for strumming. It all depends upon the rhythm of the particular song or the particular beat that's going on.
Yes.
So it's all about complementing the rhythm or complementing the beat or
Yeah.
whatever melody that's going on. So, or the time signature in that case. So, we'll just stick to 4x4 for now. So, the pattern that I'm going to play now is going to have some accents,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be selective. I'm just going to be playing on all the accents.
Yeah.
So the accents, by accents, I mean the notes that come in between 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, and 4 and 1. So that will be just called as and. So there will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so on.
Yes.
So for now, I'm just playing on the on notes, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm going to play with the accents, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But here on the and, I'm not playing with the same intensity, or I'm not playing
Yeah.
the same notes that I'm playing for the on notes, because again, it's just an accent.
Yeah.
It's not really a full strum. So if the full strum would sound something like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and that's how it would sound. So it will like just be a ringing of sound and nothing else. It would just be like the same chord ringing and ringing and ringing.
Yeah.
So what I do is when I hit the accent, I just probably strike the first two or three strings off from top. So it's just this. So that's like the basic pattern that involves the and over that it's up to you to improvise. It's
Yes.
less. So I'll just start with the on pattern, the off pattern, and just I'll try to improvise on that, like
Okay.
try to accent other notes. So those are like some
Yeah.
of the strumming patterns that. So it's better to start with the basic, like first on and then the accents, and then we try to improvise on whatever beat is
Yeah.
given to us. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with the basic pattern now.
Yeah.
So we'll just pick the G major chord again.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go to the
Action.
yeah. Go with the accent with with like try to tell yourself with the accent so that
Okay.
and 3 and 4. Good. Yeah, that works. So once this is done, you'll have to probably try and shift chords
Yeah.
with the same pattern.
Yeah.
So for now, again, let's come back to the first lesson, which is only on, and
Yeah.
try to shift from one chord to the other, which is
On